Hey everybody, John Huber here from Maryland Education Network. It is that time of year again. There is a lot of news out there on Maryland's K12 school systems. And here's what I'm going to do. I'll give you a quick little, couple little bites on what's going on out there. And then, you can go off on your own and dig around on it a little bit if you want. And if not, I'm going to start a podcast. And within the next, week or so, I'm going to, really dig into a little bit some of these topics into a lot more detail. And I would love to have some contributors. I would love to have some folks. If you have something to say, you want me to interview, you want to be interviewed, you have something to say, I would love to hear from you. You don't have to give your name. I mean, I'm not trying to make life difficult for you, but I would love to hear from you. So I'm going to start doing that. And so I'm going to hit on some of the main topics real quickly here, and then within the next week or so, I'm going to start putting some podcasts out with some detailed things on each of these individual things. First of all, let's talk real quick about something I sent out yesterday. The University of Maryland system, the college system, University of Maryland, no longer is going to accept SAT, or no longer is going to look at SAT or ACT scores as a criteria for enrollment. I have some mixed feelings on that. There's no secret that the SAT and the ACT are not very reliable indicators of future success for students in college. They're just not. So, for whatever reason, they decide they're not even going to entertain looking at them. All right, maybe I'll dig into that a little more, but it's not surprising. They're not alone. Hundreds of colleges and universities across the state of, across the entire country are doing the same. So it's not terribly surprising. This is not some big shocking revelation. So they're not the first, because the SATs we have known for a long time now have not been very accurate predictors of success in college. My old stomping ground, BCPS, but they're at it again. They got a couple of things going on, but probably most importantly, there's this ongoing tug of war back and forth between the county council and the Board of Education and the superintendent. The county council sent a letter to the Board of Education saying, and I've heard some of it defined as calling for his resignation. That's not really what they're saying. What they're saying is when his contract is up in, I think, 2 years, that they should consider all options and go into a larger search, a larger nationwide search to maybe create some competition. Don't just automatically renew this guy's contract. They're concerned for a lot of things. The same thing everybody's concerned with. Bus driver shortage, teacher shortage, discipline. Whew. I got a whole podcast coming up on discipline. I think you're really going to like it. I have a lot to say that's really up. I have a lot of experience in that on the inside, and some of the things that have gone on might be very interesting for you to know. That's BCPS. So that kind of thing. So they sent this letter. The superintendent sent a 5-page letter in return, and there's all this battle back and forth. And then they had this big meeting the other day, and there's been bits and pieces of it. My opinion on that is I think that Dr. Williams appears to be a fine superintendent, and I think that he is in a position where he inherited some real issues, and these issues that BCPS is dealing with, and you'll see Anna run on in a second, are something that every system in the entire country is dealing with, and they were dropped on his lap. And the reason that everybody's dealing with them now is because these are these are problems that have been lurking in the shadow for decades, and they have kind of ignored them, and now they're coming home to roost. Anyway, that's BCPS. Anne Arundel, they've got a couple of big changes coming up next year. They have completely altered their starting times, and I'll go into that a little bit on the podcast for them. So they have time changes, and they're trying some interesting things with their transportation as well. They're making people sign up for the bus transportation, and if you don't sign up, according to them, you will not be allowed to drive the bus for the entire school year. My very quick response to that is, okay, that whether that is going to work or not remains to be seen. However, what happens when that first person calls up and says, I couldn't get on the bus this morning because I was supposedly not on the list. And they say, well, I'm sorry, you didn't sign up. And they go, well, nobody told me. What's up with that? My cable was out. I never got the email. And they go, well, and they kick and screaming up. They go, okay, fine, we'll let you ride the bus. Policy over, because it's not enforceable. It's my opinion, and we'll see. Anyway, those are all the topics that are going on right now. Like I said, I'm going to do a little podcast within the next week. A couple of them, actually, hopefully, if all goes well. If you want to be part of it, I would love to hear from you. Please send me an email, a text, go on my website, give me, however, get on that interweb thing and get in touch with me. I'd love to hear from you. I would love to get as much input as I can. Anyway, thanks, and I'll have a lot more coming out in the next couple of weeks, because there's a lot of news out there in education. Thanks. Have a great day.